Hello and welcome back. A few days ago the 4.0 patch has been released in NA, and with it we got many new class changes. The short summarization is that every class got between 2 and 5 new skills, and the existing skills got changed substantially. Primarily the cooldown of most skills got reduced. Today we start with the Assassin. The Assassin learns 4 new skills with this patch. The first one is Blindside. This is a follow-up skill to the dash attack. With it you jump behind the enemy that is up to 20 meters away, deal a bit of damage to him and stun the enemy with a certain chance. The second skill is Side Strike. This is the second chain skill of the surprise attack. Similar to surprise attack, it deals only a low amount of damage, but deals a lot of bonus damage if you attack the enemy's back. The third skill is Encircling Strike, and this is the third chain skill of the surprise attack. It also deals fairly low damage, but if you strike the enemy's back, it deals a lot of bonus damage and also poisons the enemy. And the fourth skill is Breakaway. This removes any movement impairments, doesn't matter if rooted or slowed, and increases your stun resistances by 500 for 7 seconds. And all of this on a 2-minute cooldown. Now that covers all of the new skills of the Assassin, but we have many of the existing skills that have some changes. First we have Rune Knife. Initially it had only a range of 11 meters, but now it has a range of 21 meters. Then we have Obliteration, which now engraves a rune up to level 5 on the enemy. The damage of the Assassination and the Killing Spree skills now scale with your enchantment level. And now we come to a couple of skills that are being made into passives. First we have Apply Deadly Poison. This was initially a stigma skill, but now it is a passive skill that is learned automatically. And it is always active, meaning you now have the 2% chance to stun your enemy on every attack forever. The next one is Sprinting. Initially it increased your movement speed by 20% and drained a lot of mana while it was active. Now it still increases your movement speed by 20%, but it doesn't drain any mana anymore. It's just a passive skill and you always benefit from it. This one is actually very big. Clear Focus. This was a normal skill that increased your crit strike by 100 for 1 minute. Now it is a passive skill that is always active. And as for the stats, it increases your crit strike by 100 and your PvE damage by 20%. And as the last skill that becomes a passive skill, we have Apply Poison. In 3.7 it was an active skill that lasted for 2 minutes and had a 20% chance of poisoning the enemy. Now with 4.0 it is a passive skill that can be activated, and it will stay active forever until you decide for some reason to turn it off. Okay, let's move on. The last poison skill is Apply Lethal Venom. This initially required you to have Skolopen Poison to use it. But that got now removed. You don't need any items to activate it anymore. And its cooldown goes down from 3 minutes to only 2 minutes. Next up we have Spell Dodging. In 3.7 you resisted 2 magical attacks, but your physical attack got decreased by 50% for 10 seconds. This is now not the case anymore. You still resist 2 magical attacks, but the physical attack decrease is gone. More than that, instead of a 10-minute cooldown, it now only has a 3-minute cooldown. It also used to share its cooldown with Shadow Rage, but they are now on separate cooldowns. While we are talking about Shadow Rage already, let's cover these changes next. Before it increased your physical attack by 100%, but decreased your evasion by 50% and your magic resist by 500 for 10 seconds. The negative effects are now gone, and instead of 100% more physical attack, you now get 150% more physical attack for 10 seconds. This was at a 10-minute cooldown before, and now it is only a 3-minute cooldown. Ether Twisting is the next skill. It was initially a stigma skill, but now it is obtained automatically. There are no other changes to it. Slayer form has its duration increased from 40 seconds to 1 minute. Then we have Deadly Focus, which not only got an additional 500 stun resistance breakthrough for 10 seconds, but it also got its cooldown reduced from 5 minutes to 2 minutes. We also have Deadly Abandon, which got its duration reduced from 3 minutes to 2 minutes, but it also got a cooldown reduction from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. Let's get to something defensive now. Sensory Boost. It increased your evasion by 800 and your magic resist by 500 for 12 seconds. Now it keeps these stats, and additionally it also increases the strike fortitude by 500 and all elemental defenses by 300 for these 12 seconds. Initially the cooldown was 3 minutes, now it is only 1 minute and 30 seconds. Flurry is now lasting only 20 seconds instead of the 30 seconds from 3.7, but it also got its cooldown reduced from 2 minutes to only 1 minute. Shadow Walk did last 5 minutes on a 3-minute cooldown. Now it lasts 4 minutes on a 2-minute cooldown. Blinding Burst lasted for 15 to 25 seconds on a 3-minute cooldown. Now it lasts for 15 to 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Then we have Evasive Boost, which was an active skill that could only be used after you evade an attack, and it then increased your evasion by 300. Now with this patch, this is a passive skill that activates automatically if you dodge an enemy attack. And lastly, before we go into the huge list of cooldown reductions, we have one very big buff. Devotion. Initially, it increased your physical attack by 40% for 5 seconds on a 30-second cooldown. Now it increases your physical attack by 60% and your PvE damage by 20% for 7 seconds. And that on a 20-second cooldown. Okay, here's the list of skills that got simply their cooldowns reduced. Take a look for yourself. And that is pretty much it for the assassin changes. But I have one more thing to show for the assassins out there. With the Luminous class being released and her being able to boost her own skills, she can also boost some of the other classes' skills. For the assassin, there are 2 skills that can be boosted. Apply Lethal Venom, which has the chance to deal bonus damage to the enemy, increased from 20% to 40%. And the second skill is Slayer Form, which has only its max HP increased from 2500 to 3000. But keep in mind that the standard versions and the boosted versions of these skills have a separate cooldown, and in some cases they can be activated together without overriding each other. At this point I do not know where this is the case and where it isn't. Anyway, the separate cooldown means you could have Slayer Form active for 3 minutes. Then you would have a downtime of 1 minute, and then you could once again have it active for 3 minutes thanks to the Luminous. So that is actually a very good boost. And lastly, I want to mention that the Assassin has received a rework in Korea's 4.5 patch to Aeon Classic. I already made a video about that a while ago, and I will put the link of the video in the description if you are interested. Alright, let's move on to the Ranger. The Ranger gets 3 new skills. The first one is Dizzying Arrow. This deals physical damage and reduces the target's parry, evasion and block by 300 for 10 seconds. The second skill is Feint. This is a new stigma skill. It removes any movement impairments and teleports you 10 meters forwards. The third skill is Dilation Arrow. This is another new stigma skill. It deals physical damage and increases the target's cast time by 50% for 6 to 8 seconds. It also reduces the target's attack speed for this duration. And now to the previously existing skills and their changes. First, Bestial Fury. It reduces the attack range only by 10 meters instead of the previous 13 meters. It also increases the physical attack now by 60 instead of the previous 50%. While it was previously a stigma, now it is automatically acquired at level 45. Next is Focused Shots. Initially it boosted your next 5 skills that occur in the next minute. Now it boosts the next 5 skills that occur in the next 3 minutes. This was previously also a stigma, and now it is automatically acquired once you reach level 44. Now we have the buffs Strong Shots, Dodging and Aiming. The stat increases stay the same, but the duration increases from 1 minute to 3 minutes, so it is much less annoying to keep these buffs active. Next is an exciting skill, Spread Shot. It deals damage to up to 6 enemies in 25 meter range and has a chance to stun them. It can be activated 3 times, and new with this patch it also absorbs 30% of the damage as HP. Then we have 2 skills that now scale with the enchantment level of your gear. Stunning Shot and its chain skill Rupture Arrow. And now we have a very long list of skills that got their cooldowns reduced. And lastly, we have 2 skills of the Ranger that can be boosted by the Luminous. Bow of Blessing, which increases the physical attack by 30% instead of the normal 20%, and Sleep Arrow, which gets a small AoE effect if it is boosted by the Luminous. And that is pretty much it for the Assassin and the Ranger. Since NA has not put out detailed patch notes, it is quite difficult to get all the skill changes right. So it could easily be that I missed a few changes, but that should be the majority of it. Let me know which 2 classes we should cover next and what your opinion on these changes are. Have a nice day and see you next time. Bye!